you know that I'm obsessed with barefoot shoes. Yeah, it's pretty much all I own at this point. But here's the thing. You can't just dive right into barefoot shoes. It takes some transitioning, right, to sort of get used to it. So I'm here with John Wadley, the VP of Product Development at Xero Shoes, and we're going to talk about how to transition to barefoot shoes the right way. Hi, John.
Hi, it's not scary. Transitioning is easy. I mean, think about when we were kids, we would do everything outside in bare feet anyway.
Heck yes.
We'd run on the roads and run on gravel, and it was no big deal, right? So it's not a scary thing. All these salesmen that say you got to be careful about minimalist shoes, you might get hurt. It's not that scary.
I love it.
But
Perfect.
what you have to do is take it slow and listen to your body. So what we recommend in the brand is maybe start with just some casual shoes, right? Just wear them to work, wear them walking around town, running errands, and don't run in them at all. But your foot actually is doing some training while you're doing that, believe it or not.
Tricky.
So over
like
time, over the course of a few
surreptitious.
weeks, you're actually getting much stronger feet. And then when you're ready to start wearing them on a run or a trail run, just do a little bit. Maybe you do a quarter mile, half mile, right? Don't push it. Take them off, put on your old shoes, and wait and see how your body responds. If your body's feeling good, ramp it up a little bit. Maybe you do a mile the next time. If your body's like really sore and you're not recovering very well, back it off. It's okay. It's okay to take your time in transitioning to minimalist footwear. You're really investing in your own health and your foot strength, and it's worthwhile to take your time and do it right. The last thing you want to do is go too fast and end up hurting yourself. Your body's just not used to that. Think about how many years you've been wearing a traditional constructed footwear,
Yeah.
right? That's overly thick, overly stiff, right? Your foot is used to that. So it takes time to get used to the new platform. Imagine if you broke your arm and you were in a cast for 3-4 months, right?
Been there, done that,
And
yeah.
you wouldn't immediately get out of the cast and hurry and go to the gym and see if you can max out your bench press. It's not going to work because your
idea.
muscles have atrophied a little bit.
Yeah.
So there are components of trail running and running where in a minimalist shoe, you're not used to activating those muscles, the muscles under the foot, right, around surrounding the ankle, your lower calf. So it's going to take a little bit of time transitioning into that. But if you just take your time, ramp up slowly, you'll get to a point where before you know it, you can knock out that half marathon with no problem at all.
Awesome. I love the analogy of the cast, because like how many people have broken a limb and like you get out of a cast and you know that feeling,
Right.
you know, of not being able to do something. But like, okay, so we're talking trail running and hiking and maybe even backpacking. What are the benefits of, you know, putting in the effort to transition? Why try barefoot footwear at all for these sorts of activities? What's the benefit?
Well, I think getting your heel all the way down to the ground aligns your posture, so you have a more natural posture. Imagine what would happen if you were wearing a pair of high heels, but you wanted to maintain perfect postural alignment. You'd fall over on your face, right? If you were standing
As
straight.
I often do
So what
in
happens
high heels,
is
yeah.
you do your knee adjustment, you do a hip adjustment, you do a lower back adjustment to keep yourself upright. And then over the course of time, you wonder, gosh, why is my lower back hurting? Why is my knee hurting? Because it's not a natural posture. It's not a natural alignment. Also, over time, for hikers love that hobby, right? So you don't want to be sidelined by plantar fasciitis or bunions, neuromas, hammer toe.
We do
all
not.
these issues that come up with a traditionally constructed shoe. With a shoe that has a wider toe box, very minimal in how flexible it is, it actually makes your foot work, and that's a good thing. Don't think of it as a bad thing. Think of it as like going to the gym. Our culture really values working out, unless you're talking about feet for some reason.
Why is that?
Let's change that paradigm, and let's take foot strengthening seriously and start to wear shoes like this so that you can continue to enjoy that hobby, hiking, trail running, and not be sidelined by injury, which is ultimately due to weak feet.
Okay, so you mentioned foot strengthening, you know, like going to the gym, but for your feet.
Right.
What does that look like exactly? How do you strengthen your feet and your ankles and everything?
Yeah, it's a great question. There's a lot of great things you can do that are really easy. So first of all, we Americans are not used to actually feeling our feet.
True story.
You need to get back to allowing your foot to feel the world around you. So what we recommend doing is take your shoes and socks off, and first of all, give your foot a nice massage. What you want to do is increase the sensory connection between your foot and your brain. So give it a nice massage, maybe spread those toes, put your fingers between your toes, massage it out, move your ankle around. You'll be amazed at the benefit that comes from just being able to be in tune with your feet, first of all.
Cool.
Next, you can move into some things that you can do to strengthen your feet, such as maybe get a dish towel from the kitchen and put it on the ground and try grabbing the dish towel with your toes and then let go. And then grab it with your toes and then let go. That does wonders for the underside of your foot.
And feels
your
like a fun
plantar
party
fascia
trick.
muscle. And it's a great party trick.
Look what I can do with my toes.
Roll your foot on a golf ball just to get that blood flow going to the underside of your foot, right? You can do toe strengthening exercises even up against a wall, where I just want to do like a calf raise, but don't stop at just a calf raise. Try to actually flex those toes against the ground and try to get those toes to really work and move. And that can be a great thing to do. Another thing, you could get a jump rope, but jump rope without shoes on, just completely barefoot, jumping up and down. Or if you find a line on the ground, practice jumping across the line from side to side, kind of like a plyometrics exercise, but you're doing it barefoot. But it's very kind of minimal in impact. You're not jumping very high and you're not moving very fast. So you can handle that as a kind of a beginner exercise.
Yeah.
But it really strengthens up your ankles and feet muscles. And that'll help a lot tremendously in your trail running and running.
Nice. And what about, like I've started to see, and I got a pair myself, like the toe spacers. Where do those come into barefoot footwear? Are they recommended, or are they just kind of like a fun extra bonus?
For sure. If your foot is shaped a little bit more like this, the
Like if
goal
you've been
would
wearing
be,
regular shoes for
Yeah.
a long time?
yeah, if you've been wearing pointy cowboy boots your whole life, your toes probably look like that. The goal is to get your toes to look like that. So if they're not, and you're having a hard time getting your toes to expand out, you can get a pair of toe spacers. They have a bunch of different brands now that do that. What that does is it opens up all of those blood flow capillaries and veins so that you can get really good circulation in there.
Nice.
And just like braces for your teeth, the more you force those toes open, the more it's going to stay like that. Which is why it's important to always wear Xero shoes for all occasions, not just trail running, but
And I
wear them
do.
for casual use. Wear them to the office so that you can keep those braces in spreading out those toes. And ultimately, you'll find in the long term so much better foot health, so much better balance, so much better stability. Straight toe provides for better push-off, better power. There's like a physics lesson, more perpendicular to the ground, and pushing off is a more advantageous position for your foot.
Science, man.
Cool stuff.
Science. I mean, I know people ask me all the time, like, aren't you afraid you're going to twist your ankle when you're hiking in like these barefoot shoes with no support? And I have never, because I feel like my everything is stronger
Yeah.
and more flexible and able to handle uneven surfaces and stuff.
Ankle strength is another great one. One thing I've been told is hold your barefoot out in the air and just spell the alphabet with your foot. And because you're moving it around so much, A to Z, that's actually a lot of ankle work. So that's a great ankle exercise.
Awesome.
If you can get an uneven platform, maybe you set a piece of plywood up against a wall so that it's a 45-degree angle, you can actually do squats, pistol squats or regular squats with your ankle on a 45-degree angle. And that'll apply a little bit different load to the ankle than what you're used to. So that kind of a thing, another great ankle exercise.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, that's so many things that now I need to go home and practice.
Make it a priority. It'll pay off.
Absolutely. Just sit while I'm like watching TV and, you know, in the evenings, stretching my ankles, spelling the alphabet. All sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, John. I
No
so
problem.
appreciate your expertise. And now I'm going to go walk around in some barefoot shoes some more because this is how I roll.
That's how we do it.
This is how we do it. I am presently wearing just day-to-day Xero shoes, if you'll notice. Highly recommend. It's the Dylan, everybody. Yeah, go get yourself a pair. And then transition to barefoot shoes, because they're just better. I mean, don't take my word for it. John.